Hello and welcome to First Talk, where we simplify super. I'm Andrew Jewell and today I'm joined by Jayson and Daniela. And what we're going to be talking about is how you can actually get some money off the government. Now that we've got your attention, let's get into it a little bit, all right? What we're talking about is making a contribution from your savings. So it's referred to as in after-tax contribution. And the first one we're going to talk about is what used to be known as the government co-contribution, or is what's referred to as super co-contribution. Daniela, explain to our members, what is a co-contribution?
Yeah, so if you are earning a particular income, so there is a limit of how much you can earn to benefit from this strategy. So if you are earning a particular income, for every dollar that you put, the government co-contributes 50 cents, which is kind of free money from the government, so yay.
Yay.
But yeah, the limitation is around the income.
But how does the member actually get the money from the government?
So as you said, you have $1,000 sitting in the bank account, you contribute it into the superannuation as a non-concessional contribution, and the government automatically contributes that $500 back into your superannuation.
And how does the government know that you made it? So, you know, what triggers the transaction?
Once you do the tax returns, it will automatically trigger that event.
Okay, so you state in your tax return you made this contribution, the ATO picks it up, and then they arrange for that money to be put into your account?
Yes, it's automatically done. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So they'll match that if I put in 100,000 into super,
No,
they'll match it 50.
the limit is $500 at this stage, yes.
Yeah.
So you can't, unfortunately, take advantage of that.
And then, Jayson, the other type of contribution we're going to be talking about today is what we call a spouse contribution. Can you explain what that is all about?
Yeah, sure. It's a very similar type of contribution. If you've got a spouse, so the first thing is you have to have a spouse, and we can explain those definitions. But you can put the money into your spouse's super if they're earning below a threshold. And what the government will do is say, because they're under that threshold, we'll give you a rebate of up to $540, a tax rebate. So you'll get a little bit of a bonus at tax time when you do your tax return.
Okay, so again, it's all around about when you do your tax return and if you've made this contribution. And does this contribution have to go in by any particular date?
Yeah, so same thing. It's by 30th of June, the money has to be into the spouse's super account for it to be reported as eligible for that financial year. And you can only obviously do it once per financial year as well.
Okay. All right, so we've talked about two different types of contributions. And Daniela, you mentioned before that the co-contribution is up to $1,000 that you contribute to your super, and you get a $500 potentially coming from the government. With the spouse, is it the same amount that you got to contribute?
So unfortunately, you got to put in a little bit more. So you got to put in a little bit more to get that bang for your buck. So it's $3,000 that you have to put into your spouse's super to get that full $540 tax offset. So you'll have to have a little bit more money available to you if you want to get that spouse contribution.
Well, spouses are usually more expensive as well.
We'll talk to your husband about getting the money in for you, I think.
That is true, that is true. Okay, so we're talking about two different amounts, the $3,000 and the $1,000, and there's $540 back on the spouse, and it's a tax offset, whereas the co-contribution is $500 into your superannuation. Can you do both?
You could potentially, yeah. Nothing stops you, as long as, again, you are within those limits and your spouse is within the income limits as well.
Okay, so I mean, what would make me decide one, if I haven't got $4,000, for example, and I'm thinking about, which one should I choose? What would you think would be some of the deciding factors for a member to decide one over the other?
Well, I mean, the members benefit, the contribution to supers obviously gets you that compounding benefit. So like you said, that co-contribution will compound over time. But like I said, the spouse contribution, the offset that you'll get, you have that money in the hand,
So thank you very much for joining us at First Talk today, and hopefully we've given you some ideas about how to make an extra contribution into your super and get some money back from the government. If you're interested in finding out more about these types of contributions, there's plenty of information on our website, or you can phone the contact centre or talk to your local coordinator. If you want to work out which one is actually better for you, then that's where the financial advice team comes into play. So by all means, get in touch with Daniela, Jayson, Richard in Mount Gambier, or myself, and we're more than happy to sit down and work out what is the best approach for you. So until next time, take care.